Greetings and welcome to part 5 of the Flute series in Essential Elements. We're looking at the green belt for band karate, 59 to 85, starting on page 14. So at the very top of page 14, we have this tie. It's a curved line connecting two notes to make them into one long note. It's basically all it does. So looking at 59 in your book, it says fit to be tied. You start with a half note F, 2 beats. Then you have two E flat quarter notes. Each one of those is 1 beat, but they're tied together. So that means you're going to play 1 E flat for 2 beats. Next measure, you have a B flat half note, 2 beats, followed by 2 C's, each a quarter note, 1 beat each, tied together to make that one long C, 2 beats. When you have 2 quarter notes tied, it's basically the same as playing a half note. Alouette has you tying a half note, 2 beats, to a quarter note, 1 beat, which means you're going to hold that first E flat for 3 beats. Underneath that, in the orange box, it talks about the dotted half note. So a half note's 2 beats. When you add the dot, it makes it 3 beats. You're going to hold it for 3 beats. The same as if you were going to tie a half note to a quarter note. Look at number 61, Alouette the sequel. Exact same song as number 60, except they're using a dotted half note in place of the tied notes. Camptown Races is your first green belt song. Notice it's allegro, so fairly fast tempo. Mezzo forte for your dynamic level, means medium loud. And it's in 4/4. So let's give this one a whirl. New directions is a new note. Low F. You learned high F. Low F is the same fingering, just blow slower. High F. Low F. Here's new directions. 63. Number 64, the nobles, is more practiced using the low F. Notice that between the first and second measure, you have a low F that's tied. That's where you're usually going to see tied notes, is across those bar lines into different measures. But you can only have a certain number of beats per measure, so if you want a note held longer into the next one, you need that tie. Page 15 at the top of the page talks about a 3/4 time signature, 3 beats in a measure. You've had 4/4, 4 beats in a measure. You've had 2/4, 2 beats in a measure. Now 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's 67, 3-beat jam using that 3/4 time signature. Bar carol, also in 3/4, moderato, medium tempo, mezzo forte, medium loud, getting gradually louder with that crescendo, then gradually getting softer with the decrescendo at the end there. Morning, from Peer Gynt, is Andante, fairly slow, goes piano, soft, crescendos to a mezzo forte medium loud, decrescendos to a piano, soft. Still 3/4 time. In the orange box underneath, it talks about an accent. It means try to punch the note a little bit more. I personally find that rather hard as a young player on flute, but be aware of what that is. And try to get just a little more weight. Instead of bum, bum, it might be more of a bum, bum. Looking at 71, Mexican clapping song, we'll try to hear a little bit of that accent. Very subtle for your flute. As you progress, it'll be more of a sound on that accent. Let's go to page 16. Top of the page, it talks about accidentals. Whenever you see a sharp, flat, or natural sign on a note, right now we've only done the flat sign. It's called an accidental. We talked about key signatures where it tells you what's going to be flat in a particular key. Okay? Up until now, you've had B flat and E flat. We're learning a new note called A flat in 73. So you can see that flat symbol on there as well. One thing to note about flat signs is that if you have a flat or any accidental on a note in a measure, anytime you see that note for the rest of that measure, it's still going to have that. If it's flat before, it's still going to be flat. So if you're looking at the 5th measure of Hot Muffins, notice that you have 4 8th note A's. The first one has a flat sign on it. They're all going to be A flat because the first one's flat. Then the next measure, it would be back to natural. Unless they wanted it flat, they'd have to put it on there again. 73, A flat, is this. It's your G, and then this pinky right here. And of course, this pinky. Okay? So we like to think of it as thumb, 1, 2, 3, and the golf club key. A flat. Basic blues is a high A flat, same exact fingering but blown higher, blown more air. Here's basic blues 75 using that high A flat. '76 is your next green belt song, High Flying. Notice that it's moderato, it's 3/4 time. Look at your key signature. It's a little different. Notice you still have the B flat and E flat like you did before, but now there's a flat sign on the A space, right? F-A for your space. That means all your A's, high or low, doesn't matter, is going to be A flat with the golf club key. In the 3rd measure is the only A flat in the song. You're going to play your high A flat with that golf club key. Look at the orange box above 76. You can see that new key signature. B flat, E flat, A flat. Pay very close attention whenever you're playing songs from now on, that key signature. Especially that A is going to be tricky. You're going to find that about half the time, you're going to be playing A flat with the golf club key. And then you're going to find half the time that flat sign is not going to be there, so you need to play A natural, thumb 1, 2. Okay? Also in that box, it talks about 1st and 2nd endings. This only happens when you have a repeat sign. It says, play through the 1st ending, then play the repeated section of music, skipping the 1st ending and playing the 2nd ending. Look at 76, High Flying. Basically, you're going to go the beginning of the song all the way to the repeat sign. Then you go back to the song, the beginning of the song. Then you're going to go all the way to where you see the 1 under that bracket. You're going to stop there. And you're going to jump over that 1 to the 2, so past that repeat sign, and then play to the end of the song. Let's go over the notes for that. It could be B, E, F, G, 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 A flat, C, C, F, C, B, D, E, F, G, F, F, E, C, B, B. Repeat to the beginning. B, E, F, G, 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 A flat, C, C, F, C, B, D, E, F, G, F. Now jump to the second ending. E. That's all there is. Let's try it. So I tried to give a little when we went back with the repeat and then when we jumped over to get to the second ending. Your last green belt song for band karate is 78, Up on a Housetop. And this one also has a first and second ending, beginning to repeat sign, beginning to 1, jump over the 1, play 2, and go to the end. It's a 2-liner. Notice that it's allegro, fairly fast. Mezzo, forte, medium loud, goes up to a forte at the end of the first line. 4/4 time, 4 beats in a measure. Notice your key signature is only B flat and E flat. So if you have any A's in here, which you don't, it would be A natural. Okay, but I just want you to start thinking about that key signature, always looking at that first thing when you see a song. Here's Up on a Housetop. Number 80, you're going to need, before you move on, is a high B flat. Same fingering as your low B flat, your regular B flat that you learned, thumb 1, 1, pinky, except you blow faster. It's your high B flat, okay? If it sounds low or you get this graining, then you need to blow more. Here's 80. Notice your key signature, B flat, E flat, A flat golf club key. I also like 83 Down by the Station, just as a fun song. So we're going to do it. Notice your key signature, B flat, E flat, A flat. Alright, so this has been the green belt for band karate. The next one is going to focus on the purple belt. Always remembering that articulation. Always looking at your time signature, your key signature, your tempo, and your dynamics is going to be very helpful to you. Alright, we'll see you later.